What's up, D-Man? Just kind of doing a little live surprise stream today. And just had a topic on my mind. It's been asked multiple times. And it is what it is. Cesar in the house. What up, G? Matt Downer back. Coming down the mountain. E's in the house. Michael J. Good to have you. It's a pleasant surprise. Shadow Monk returns. Batman's back. In my opinion, no, because you understand female nature and also you understand how corrupt the system is against men, so definitely not. What do you guys think? Can you be married and red-pilled? Mr. Hemi is in the house. Salute to you. Siak back. Siak in the house. What else we got? Timmy Kramer, the forever bachelor. Talked to Timmy today. Making Italian sausage with garlic and onions. Spaghetti. Sketty. Honey Boo Boo calls it sketty. Freedom. E's in the house. Lights up. No, you can't be married. Several of you for the no. No, you can't be red-pilled and married for 300, Trebek. Red pill is a man that wakens up to what? Reality, not fantasy. That's really what it comes down to. You see the reality for what it is. Now, there's several content creators that say, I married, or there's been several comments and chats of content creators that say, I'm married in MGTOW. I'm married in red pill. Great. You're really not. I think a red pill man, well, very few women submit to their husbands. Very few women are led by their husbands. The act of being married as the man in charge and leads is what we're shooting for here, which in modern day relationships, the man doesn't really lead anymore. It's the media and the hive mind. That's what leads. That's what you should be doing. I was told when in my union that because I liked routine and discipline, and she didn't, that I was the controlling one. And it was very difficult to lead in that situation, caused a lot of issues. Any man would be a fool to get married today. It just doesn't make any logical sense. You have no legal authority over your household and your resources are in the hands of a woman. Well, you're 3 digits away from somebody showing up and questioning you. I think you can be red pill, but not MGTOW, Mr. Hemi Forsby. Absolutely. Well, I would agree with that statement. I don't think a married man avoids marriage at all costs. Avoids cohabitation, avoids kids. That's a man going his own way. It's too risky. It's too risky. Well said, Mr. Hemi. You can't be MGTOW married. You're going the woman and the system's way. Yes, I would agree with that statement 100%. Okie Drummer in the house. Okie Drummer's got a channel. That's a hard question. I really think it is a hard question. Let's take a look at the Amish people that are married. How do their marriages last? Are the women happy? Do they fall behind the man? Islam. What about Islam marriages? Polska Bob back. Good to have you. No guest. We're going to do 5 Years of Freedom on Sunday. Looking forward to that. You guys tune in. It's always the man's fault, says he. Typically in the family courts, it sure is. Fabian's in the house. ¿Cómo estamos? Good to have you. As always, kids are amazing. It's these women that are the issue. Well, I think what it comes down to, I've had a lot of time to reflect on my marriage, my divorce, kids. And I think that if you're not on the same page in life, especially with kids, it's a disaster. And typically men and women are typically not on the same page. My parents were always on the same page. Always. My mom was never my friend. My dad was never my friend. They're still not my friends. They're my parents. And my mom and dad, if I wanted to spend the night with, my cousin or my friend, my mom, I'd ask my dad, go ask your mom. She says, okay, I'm down with it. Or my mom would say the same thing. Go ask your dad. And if he says yes, they were always in union. That is very, very, very rare today. Most mothers do not like to upset their kids by saying no. I'd be scared to death for any woman to see my bank accounts. I've been telling women for years I'm broke. You do exactly what George Costanza does. Do the opposite. Say the opposite. If you know that most women are not made to be wives and you know the system is against you, then why would you do it anyways? Very good question, Batman. And again, it doesn't make any logical sense. Zero. Mysterio, most people get married is mostly due to some sort of social pressure. I never gave up of having a desire for marriage or kids. Mysterio back in the house all the way from Canada. Well, why do and I'm thinking today, a lot of people get married because they're lonely and they think getting married is going to fix it. Because the love and the romance wears off in the first, 8 weeks. Although I do know one guy that's been married. He's on a second marriage. He got married after 30 years, like 4 months later. Total rebound. And apparently he's more happier now than ever. Thanks, Polska. I'm looking forward to it as well. Can I call it and speak my thoughts for a few? Sure, Okie. A high-value woman over 40 shouldn't want to get married either. I think her prospects are very low unless he's in his 60s. Or she's a sugar baby. Hey, baby. No need for any parents' validation. Mr. Hemi, being red pill helps protect me in my marriage. It's tough. I mean, regardless, it's tough living with myself, and I live alone, except with my kid every now and again. It's tough to live with people. It's tough to constantly be around people. You need your space, right? And I think you can have a mindset of red pill, but it's probably hard to be like that. You can be red pill in a lot of different ways, government, but I think relationships. I'm still torn if you can or cannot be if you're married. You can't, maybe. Not saying you can't, Mr. Hemi. But it definitely is probably a little bit challenging. No, Oki, you are. Show us how you cook so well and delicious. Go to Fanboy in the house. Where are you from, brother? If you're married and red pilled, it's too late. Get the chopper. I would never have known what the red pill or MGTOW was if I had not gone through a divorce. Rad, your parents were of a different generation would fall into your 2%, which is not perfect but workable. I think my parents have been around, they've been married, 53, 54 years now. And, for a long time, they didn't like each other. Like, for 2 decades. Oh, my mom was a battle axe. It was like, she'd been through, she knew prior feminism, what her mother was like. Then she went through the 60s as a 25-year-old. And then she got past that. And, the divorce never crossed their lips. At least that's what my mom and dad have always said. They never mentioned the word divorce. But I think they respect each other now. And they've been together longer than they've been single. Double the time. So well said. I wonder if being married considered as beta. MJSP 49. Where are you from? I think if you're getting married, I think it's a good question. Do beta males get married? I'd say the majority of marriages, and I did something on this, especially even the proposal. The proposal really, when you elevate someone to such a high level, it's a beta move, right? Betas put folks on pedestals when the man and his purpose should be on the pedestal. A woman should be a compliment. Spike's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Okie Drummer there. Thank you for doing that, D-Man. What type of computer do you stream from, and will you be updating it soon? I'm on an Apple Mac. I need to get a new one with a better camera. What's up, Rad? I'm new to your channel. Enjoy watching your videos from Vegas. Bryant Guzman, good to have you, brother. Appreciate you being here. Just in Vegas in December. Watching LA Guns play at, count something off of Tropicana. Good to have you. Today, women get married just to be brides and have all the eyes on her and party for her. Well said. Well said. What do you think of Alex Van Halen as a drummer? Well, didn't he play guitar first and then Eddie was the drummer? I think he's great. Drop Dead Legs. Can't beat it. Brandon Trueblood in the house. Good to see you, brother. It allows me to teach my sons. Yeah. Lisa Smith teaches her kids, her boys, about the potentials of the modern day relationship and what to look out for. Good to have Brandon in the house. I eat like a gym rat, nothing fancy. Sifu in the house. Good to have Grandmaster Sage from Idaho. Check out Sifu's channel, Brandon Trueblood's channel. Who else we got? Okies. If I'm missing someone, let me know. Is being married considered as beta bait? If I had to say yes or no, I would say yes. In certain regards. But I believe a man going his own way sees what marriage, the potential, there's more risks and rewards with the 98% to get married. It's not recommended. Now, I didn't get married, get divorced, but that's what happened. So you got to be careful. Everything right now is geared towards removing the man from the lives of kids, removing the man from the home, and so forth. I've been through it. It's a very good question. I think that's the discussion we're having. Can you be red-pilled and married? Because red pill would mean you have alpha tendencies, or, you're putting yourself first. You're not living as a beta male and seeking the attention and validation of others. Other than that, salute to everyone in the chat. Thanks, brother. Go to Fanboy says, being married is beta. Go to Fanboy from Georgia. Good to have you. Let's just say I have the 1% woman we are all looking for. Well, she is until she's not. Well, good for you. I'm not anti-relationships. I just recommend in today's world, there's a 1 to 2% chance. There's a 1 to 2% of women out there, which is 70 million women worldwide that are that you have a potential of having potentially a fulfilling life. And unfortunately, that's just the programming we've been through. It's too difficult, especially today where technology is so prevalent. You are not first. My parents lived their lives through feminism and beta, no less. Yep, I think your parents are my parents' age. RPM is a notable exception. If you are married, it is difficult to shake off the blue pill programming. I think that's well said, Sifu. It's tough. It is a blue pill program mindset. I think back 100, 150 years when people were coming together for a purpose, I think that you could consider marriage back then as a red pill because people got together, they brought their resources, they built and created something, and respect came. So they didn't put each other first. The only thing the man looked at the woman and said, she's going to give me 15 kids. And the woman looked at the man and said, he's going to take care of me and we're going to not starve and we're not going to freeze to death and we're going to make kids. Love did not exist in that scenario. So it seems like feminism was a disease that barely affected Mama Rad and she got through the lies and nonconformity. Yes, my mom is anti-feminist. Being married equals second-class citizen equals beta male. Very risky in today's world. Drop that StreamYard link. Beta depends on who wears the pants in the family. Yeah, again, when you get married, I was a lot stronger as a single man before I got married, and you could tell that over time, having kids, you begin to lose some of the authenticity that you first brought, and I think that you begin to dip your toes, and you become more softer in certain ways. You don't want to rock the boat, and I think I've seen a lot of guys turn beta because of that. Rib is still sore, but good for you. I don't think the guys can truly be masculine, because once you sign the marriage contract, she has all the leverage. As Denzel said, the secret is, yes, dear, and breathe. Teach him how to drive that 4-speed. There you go. Good day to you, brother, walking through ghosts. How are you? Forget where you are from, walking through ghosts. I like that. Which music venues do you prefer? Clubs. I do not like big. It was really, I'm glad I saw Guns N' Roses, but I like literally like 300 or less. Even 1,000 is too many. I like to be up front. I like to experience it, not on a screen. The food I meal prep for every day, every week, literally looks like dog food. Rib Grunts in the house. Good to see Rib. Sifu says, I just did a short video on my Rule of 3 channel about relationship issues. And check out Sifu's channel as well. He's got some great stuff. Brandon Trueblood's channel as well. I cringe when I hear my buddies say they have to check with their significant other for a boys' night out. That's never going to happen with me. There you go. I prefer solitude most of the time than enter in a relationship. You have better return on investment, financially, physically, mentally, and what have you. I like the smaller shows, but a good festival I don't pass up. Riot Fest will always be awesome. It's been a long time since I've been to a festival. Being married and red pill depends on how long you've been married and your age. I would, yeah. My dad's still a strong dude. Mentally. He's in his mid-70s now, but I think he's maintained his frame. But they had some very difficult times. You'd have to be a Chad to get respect in your marriage and actually be the leader of the household. Yeah, in today's world, if you want to lead, it's considered toxic behavior to be a leader, to say no. Put your foot down. If you're just an average man, there's no real hope of that. I would agree with that. Big Dick Dame, I'm off to bed. Good to see you, brother. Just wanting to say that Better Bachelor's latest video is a must-see, especially on your side of the pond. ESG socialism already here. Good night. Hey, I'm going to check that out. Check that out. Cheers to you. It took me the second marriage to find her, but yeah, all women are capable. And that's what I say. Women, men, she's not yours. It's just your turn. Makes a lot of sense in a lot of areas. But men also have issues as well. We get bored, right? I think relationships are extremely difficult. That's it. Brad, I use your content as a guide. Like you could say what to see in Utah, not a perfect guide to life, just what to look out for to make an informed decision. Well, I think it's experience that everybody brings to the table and we share with one another. But, Mysterio's got great experience from the lens in Canada that he sees from. A monk now and never get married again, says Brandon. But a man can still be a manly man regardless of the stupid choices women make. Just because a woman fools a man does not rob a man of his manhood. Well said. Well said, brother. D-Man, linking up Sifu. The program is still within me. That is why I married my waifu. No meatbag woman will manipulate me again. Whatever makes you happy, right? A man going his own way finds his own peace, quiet, and freedom. Darley Lambert. It's called purple pill, little red pill and blue pill. Not fully red pill, not fully blue pill. There's probably a 1% to 2% of marriages where there's the dynamic swings the majority to red pill. living, being a leader, being on your purpose and your grind. Very rare, though. Speaking of pants, I think chicks who initially wore pants as a fashion was part of the agenda. I would agree with that. I think that's a great idea, a great thought, because when pants came into the world, it changed a lot of the femininity. Pants were considered masculine. Pants were considered a masculine. Women wore dresses and skirts. And now, potentially, that's the beginning of the movement to the Skittle movement. Pants. Mr. Levi Strauss created pants for men. Denzel is mostly joking around. His wife adores him. That's his secret. I didn't know that Denzel's kid was the dude in Tenet. T-E-N-E-T, the Christopher Nolan film. He's a pretty good actor. Do you like Deep Purple? I do. I do, Mr. Out here in the high desert, Southern California. Would that be considered Lancaster area? Been out to Lancaster. Or are we talking, who knows? JR. JR's in the house. Good to have you. Solitude keeps you sane. It did for me. That's another thing. There's a lot of folks that are lonely in marriage. A lonely man is not a man going his own way. A man finds purpose in life, and that purpose takes away the loneliness. Age has a lot to do with it. I would agree with that statement. Can't go 20 to 90 with a spouse and have it all cut and dry. Now, people change so much. I mean, the kids that get married at 20, by 22, they're different. By 26, they're different. When they have kids, hormones and estrogen hits, they become different. Everybody changes. I think men change less because we have a different brain. We have a different operating system. But we do have, back when I was 23, I had different desires than I do now. RPM is a waifu and he's still married. He told the meat sack that she has been replaced. My ex got fat, lazy as hell, unremarkable, pathetic, and disappointing. After a few years, I chose Pamela Henderson. Oh, did you invite Angela Palmer as well? Over her on numerous occasions. Worst decision of my life, without a doubt. There you go. I was in Tehachapi not too long ago. JR, the man, the myth, the legend. What up? Good to see you, Jay Olua, in the house again. Late teens, late 20s, the only way to win with women is not to get deeply involved with them in terms of marriage and kids. Put your purpose first. You definitely can be red pill in a marriage, but it's better to be red pill going into a marriage than to become red pill in the marriage, says Self-Employed Success Secrets. I think having red pill experience and knowledge definitely could help, but I think marriage today is too risky. I wonder if Skeletor will find me here too. By the way, Self-Employed, thanks for being in the chat. Jerry C is back. Good to have you. Big Papa Monk in the house. Good to see you. What we got from Zifu? Where'd you go? Alone is not the same as lonely. When you discover your purpose, you realize that is treasure isolation. Absolutely. Loneliness is seeking external validation from a person. Being alone, all of us are alone. You're alone in the shower. Are you complaining? When you're in the shower, you're alone in your car. There's a study that indicates that single men die sooner than their married counterparts. I think it's BS, but do you think that's plausible? Interesting. Yeah, I've heard that, but I don't know if that's true. I really don't. Maybe the lonely guys that are single, but a guy on purpose is going to live a great life until his last tick. The man leading is a better deal than the woman. I see friends where the woman leads and it's disastrous. My friend is paying a mortgage with bio kids and fell into it, not his decision. And yeah. Mm-hmm. I love Susan. Tacos or cheeseburgers? Oh, man. I'm going to have to go cheeseburger. Lisa Smith, back in the house. Good to see you, Lisa. You cannot be red-pilled and married. It's mentally exhausting. I don't care how tough you are, but you will get depressed. At the end, the woman will still leave over some petty bullcrap. I think for the majority of the goober, you are absolutely 100% right. Jesus never got married or had kids. I wonder why. Yo, Rad, what's up? Eddie A, back. Good to see you. The goober says never get attached to women. Just have fun. Mm-hmm. If you get one pregnant, do not marry her. Be there for her offspring and red pill them. You know, you can try. You definitely try. I've outlived all 6 of my married uncles, and I'm 56. Dang. There you go, Timmy. Timmy, the forever bachelor. Brandon Trueblood in the house saying taco. Tacos for 300 Trebek. Tacos for dinner with the Polska. Chris Guzman is back. Rad, you're the man. My brother, I dig your content. Thanks for being here. We like to hear everyone's experience and opinion, regardless if it's agreeable or disagreeable. Those that are married, I commend you. Those that can maintain the experience of on purpose and married, that is a rare woman you are married to. My only issue is the emotional uncertainties of a lot of the gals. But there's a 1% to 2% that actually they're not as emotionally run as most women, although they do have emotions, right? Because women are emotional, men are logical in terms of the brain for the most part, but there are women that are less emotional. However, that might change during menopause or different times of the month, and that's a challenge to all men, regardless of how amazing your relationship is. When I had children with my wife at the time, the postpartum up and down emotion was another thing that I had to deal with. Wasn't her fault because her body was going and making different changes. But you're always going to have to deal with that, regardless if you're married or not married, in a relationship or whatnot. The emotional hurricanes based on biology. That's real shit. And it can cause issues, especially a woman with 35. I think mine started going through perimenopause, which is before menopause. And then there's postmenopause, right? And that's the chemicals changing in a woman's body, and it changes a lot of things about them physically, mentally. And she had to go on. She was actually... She had said to me, I'm sorry, I'm just hormonally imbalanced. I'm trying to get it fixed or whatever. You know, and at the time I stood beside her. I said, you know what, do whatever the doctor says, whatever you need to try, herbs and, you know, different sorts of natural supplements. And she went on some sort of vitamin that kind of like helped her out. But that's another thing. Living with women or being married to women, you're going to experience biology changes, mental and physical and emotional biology changes. So those that are married that can do this, I commend you. I truly do. What do you like on your tacos, Rad? I love street tacos like in Mexico. I've been changing a lot. I like limes and radishes and onions and jalapenos. If you want a taco fix, have the for breakfast. Attaboy. Swaggy Waggy. Yes, you can if you were a king of the old days or on a private island with no other men on it. Swaggy Waggy, where are you from? Yeah. Again, you would have to, but you're still going to deal with the challenges of that emotional person. Now, are men emotional? There's a lot of wimpy dudes out there that act feminine, cry, argue, lots of soy in them. So this goes both ways, right? Word of advice, never partner up in a business deal like real estate with a man who's married. Strange wives are the way of ruining it, not just for the nuclear family, but for everyone else. Go to family. Yes. I recall overhearing my elder sister tell her husband that he's just there to pay for her bills. Wow, Sultan. He's a super simp. He married her as a single mom now, has 2 kids with her. Geez, Sultan in the house. My brother married a single mom, Didn't last. Lads, there is life after a serious heartbreak. It takes time. There will be dark days and nights. However, if you hang in there and find purpose, you will overcome tenfold. Great wisdom from Mr. J. Olua. Right on, 100%. To be honest, this channel is great. I wish we can preach this information to all young men. The future is hopeful if we still are men to stop giving women power. Florida right here. But let me go back to that. Swaggy Waggy in Florida. Let's take just the idea of power from women. I think if we change it and say, as men, if we stay on our purpose and we put the power back, which you're right, take the power we give to women to validate, we want validation from them. Remove that power, put it back in it, put that power to our purpose. And it's not like, and that's what we should be doing as men. I know men that are married that are not on their grind and they're not happy. They're not doing what they want. They go to work, come home, and they're miserable. They're not doing what they, and they're constantly having to take care of and keep, obviously, the conflicts to a minimum, but very difficult, especially as women age as well in marriage. Alpha men are way more attractive than simp men, says Lisa. Maybe because my dad was. Yeah. Your dad was your first boyfriend. Fear not, my younger brothers. The artificial womb and virtual reality will change everything. You will not need to be vulnerable to estrogen-fueled emotional extortion. Bona fide response right there to Mr. Seafood. It's called, for her, I have what I want, kids, daddy, and government, and no need for the sperm donor anymore except for the alimony and child support. It's definitely given to them very freely in court. Go to fanboy, amen to that. I was flipping a house with my brother when he got divorced. He got super depressed, and she robbed him 4/5 of his half. Yep, that happens all the time. Leave single mothers alone, widow for a reason. Yep, I would not, again, those are very risky. Hot potatoes, single moms. George is in the house. Good to see you. All the way from England, off of his shift from the hotel. Stay strong, my brothers, and never give up, says Rib. That's what we're teaching, man. That's what we're teaching. Blaster, getting on a knee and signing your legal parental and financial right over to someone who is incentivized to rob you is the move of a man who OD'd on blue pills. Well said, brother. I can't fathom how my friend DT got roped into paying the mortgage, having bio kids with his ex-girlfriend who dumped him in the late 90s and is still technically married to her big kid's dad. I don't know. Any tips on how to deal with back pain? It's damn painful and debilitating. I read this book called, I'll send you a video on email. Send me an email, I'll send you a video on something. It's your biology. It's natural to mate with a strong male that you see strong qualities to protect and provide. Well, that's biology, right? Back to biological order. Now, here's another thing being married. My ex left me when I was down and out. Fast forward a year, I landed a 6-figure job, about to bang on a 7-figure profit real estate deal at the end of the month, and picked up a new hobby like Muay Thai. Awesome, brother. That's what we like to hear. Rebelling against defeat. That is why I made this channel. Because there is a way for everybody to experience success, even after failure. Just had my vasectomy on the 5th, walking through ghosts. I remember when I got mine. A little painful. Betty into Archie in the Archie comics is close to the ideal relationship for a man and a woman. I would agree. Howard Pratt says you can't be red-pilled and married. NASCAR or Formula One? NASCAR. That's where they got Natty Light. You got me figured out. He was a military police when I met him. Guess Law and Order is an attraction magnet. I think he just was an alpha dude, right? Anecdotal, but knew a Christian woman whose husband died young, hopped on the CC bank chat, had a baby boy by him, got married to a different guy, divorced him, then married a beta. Women are all like pooping while standing. Carl, you're right. A young guy, 25, I've known, got married last weekend. His bride outweighed him for sure. This kid is in for a shit show. I think that's like John Boston's friend who's marrying a large woman. All that happened within 2.5 years. See? Doesn't matter. Quick. The pain has not disappeared. Some days are better than others, but with time you learn how to navigate. Please, lads, don't give up pushing through. I promise you'll be okay. And I 100% side with that statement. Continuing to move your energy will get you through it. You have to move, literally, physically move. As long as you continue to struggle, you are never defeated. Well said. I had my colonoscopy last week. How did it go? Did you have to drink the whole ton of that yellow Kool-Aid? Little more painful than I expected. Yeah, when I got mine, people go, oh, yeah, you'll be back to work. You're fine. No, man, they did it in 2 places. My doctor was a urologist that cut in 2 places and then cauterized the ends. That hurt. I don't know. I mean, I have a pretty high pain tolerance, but it still hurt me. The original Law and Order is coming back to NBC. There you go. Can't wait till I'm able to live on fire. Howard Pratt. Best decision I ever made, Ghost. To get a vasectomy. Rad, I'm planning on moving back to the U.S. I would look at Texas, Florida, Utah, maybe Tennessee. There's little towns all over. Find a red state. I pumped and dumped a single mother today, one of those guys. There you go. 21K on the books for 2022. Mr. Real Estate Guru. 5 years of freedom, ripping bong hits, soaking up the rad nuggets, not possible for married simps. Men, women, and simps, listen up. We are doing a collab on Sunday. This Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Mountain. Good to have him in. He just did a couple new videos today that were pretty good. Real good. Looking forward to that, Wes. My ex-siblings, except one, have all been divorced, and there are 9 of them. Hey, there's 6 kids in my family, and 3 of us are divorced. Oh, I'm glad that everything worked out. Did they find any polyps or anything like that? They hot snare them out of there. Pretty soon, colonoscopies, I think, are going to be a thing of the past, being in medical, because they have these nano robots now that can go in and just basically, they're smaller. They're like 1/100th of the size of a grain of rice, and they go in and fix everything. I know we've talked about this, but the way things are going, I'm not sure a one-way ticket to another country isn't the way to go. Markets, inflation, housing is the only reason I'm duking it out. Yeah, I'm a little nervous about that as well. Red pill, I'm not nervous, but optimistically cautious. Red pill is a secret club and a superpower. I recommend Hawaii, Big Island to free. Are you talking Kona, the Black Island? I would agree. Rad, you helped me a lot, and so this community. I didn't say anything to brag, but to illustrate what can happen within 12 months. If you readjust your mental state, get out of the red pill rage and push through. That's a thing. And I'm slowly changing my messaging. I don't know if people have been seeing it, to literally, how can we improve as men that have gone through the red pill rage, which obviously stems from a relationship failure. Because truly, that's what we need. We can push through. There's a lot of content out there where guys, and thank you, Jay, your experience of helping others, that others see this. 5 years of freedom's been through it. He would completely simped out for a long time, spent a lot of money. He got it through his skull. He's killing it. Timmy Kramer's killing it. Everybody on here is killing it. When you decide that this is the way you want to go. So good for you. That's what we do. We help other guys based on our experience. The only reason I know what I know is because I've been through it. It's becoming mainstream. And with that, infiltrators. And I bet her parents all blame the men. Of course they do. My ex was outside the box and thinking with conspiracy theories in life, but crushed by addiction, demons, Slam Cave. Good to have you, Slam. Only 6 polyps shown and no cancer. You're 50, right? You can be married and red pill. I don't think you can be married and red pill is what you're saying. Okay. I think it's extremely hard. Rad, I'm a little confused. Married men can't be alpha? That's one of the things that attracted me. I think married men, yeah, I mean, let's just say, I think alpha men today in marriages are very, very few and far between. I had said earlier that there's probably a 1% to 2% of marriages out there, such as yours, where the man leads and he's an alpha male and you have been basically the stewardess while he's been the pilot and you love that. Or the doctor, he's the doctor and you're the nurse and you love that. But it's a 1% to 2% that can still maintain that. But however, I would consider my dad still alpha and he's married, right? But it's a very small percentage of marriages. 98% of them are typically all betas. I think a lot of folks confuse the red pill rage with the double standards so prevalent with women today. Top it with feminism, preferences, high expectations, and men know they're second-class citizens. RP goes against the whole marriage and cohabitation BS. And then we were talking about that earlier. MGTOW, you can't be married. I mean, MGTOWs are not married, do not cohab, and do not seek children, and go from there. I think there's a difference between a man going his own way and red pill. Red pill is the philosophy. A man going his own way is his purpose, right? Or red pill is just the understanding that the reality is not the fantasy in government, education, work, the 40-year work for 40 years, you get to watch the fantasy of that. So when you digest a red pill, you understand that life is much different now than when you were programmed. And then you decide if you're going to go become the best version of yourself by going your own way, or you're going to take that knowledge and, jump back to a different relationship or a relationship. I think that there's a 1% to 2% of women where you can have some sort of connection, but 98% are not recommended. Simple as that. Glad to see you're doing great content, my brother. Mike Butler in the house. Good to have you, Mike, back again for another stream. I don't think any man can be alpha until you're close to 30 and never got married, had bio kids. You need time to ingest it. Yeah, and I think a lot of guys struggle because they weren't raised with fathers that were strong. And it shows. As long as your husband leads and takes charge, he is essentially alpha. I would agree with that statement. My dad used to say to my mom, he'd say, Annie, hush. But she held her ground too. I mean, but they had a relationship, they had a union. And their union was he was the leader. And she stood behind him. Her greatest thing in life was to be a mother. She got a degree, taught school. And when she had my brother, who's a year older, she became a mom, and that's what she's done, and never gone back to work. Do you think that cohabitating and marriage are the same or slightly different? I think they're the same. Although there's a lot of cohabitors that are fiancés for years, and the moment they get married, 4 months later, they get divorced. Something about what that piece of paper does. The rage is only there to motivate you forward. Don't dwell there. It's a trap. I would agree with that statement. Red pill rage, guys, is debilitating. Experience it, feel it, and let it go. And accept it. Sad that men have to stay on point all the time to maintain a relationship. A woman has a purse full of excuses, rationalization, and her girlfriends that will support her poor decisions. And remember, women that are divorced typically have lots of girlfriends that are divorced. Brandon Trueblood, you are describing monk, not MGTOW. A lot of monks. Nothing wrong with being a monk. He's the breadwinner. I'm the stay-at-home parent, kind of traditional. Yes, you do take care of your kids, but you respect and honor him. I hope it stays the way till death do you part. Now we're pushing. We're definitely behind Lisa Smith. If a girl uses curse words on you, you don't give a fuck. Lamar. That's the deal. If you're going to argue or try to change a woman, just be on your purpose. Do the things that you want to do that put your purpose on the pedestal. That is my definition of a man going his own way. And it's as simple as that. You are the captain of your plane. That's how I like to look at it. There's so many different definitions, and you can't do this. You can't. What's the Bible for it, right? It's the idea that you are the captain of your plane, and hence you get to choose who rides in it, who flies in it, where you fly, when you fly, and how you fly. It's that simple. So if you want a lady to fly in it, great. If you don't, great. If you want to be forever just you, that's awesome. You know, that's the key. Do you guys know where you're going to be in 100 years? I know I'm never getting married again. That's it. I'm never having kids again. I'm never going to cohabitate with a woman again. Go to Fanboy. I really do. There you go. Barely Good Tennis in the house. Check out his channel. Evening Rat. I don't think red pill and marriage can coexist. I think marriage is submission to the state. Well said, Wes. I think you are in a relationship with the state. It's a three-way. Every married man has been in a three-way since he got married. Lisa Smith, the JR says you're a 1 in a million unicorn. I would, yeah. I mean, she's the one. I met 1 to 2%ers. I'm here to keep the home fires burning. Yeah, girl. And taking care of her man by making food, taking care of the kids, cleaning the house. Being angry is a natural response to being lied to your whole life, but you do have to move on, pass through, absolutely. And that's one thing. The more, and this is one thing I had to learn as well. Yeah, I was upset. I felt lied, bamboozled. And then I had to decide. Because with those thoughts, she was still in my thoughts because of that. Think about it. She was still in my thoughts. She was still living in my mind rent-free. She was still controlling. I still gave her power. And the moment I removed that power, life began to change. Lads, there's a lot of six-figure jobs out there that don't require degrees. Utility companies, trucking, please don't give up. The world needs you. You're valuable. Push through. Jay giving some great advice. You know what's great about this channel and other channels? People in the comment, there's always some new person or a person within the comment that just lays down wonderful commentary. With CJ Wilkins did it one time, Timmy Kramer, John Boston, FJT, and it's all about helping one another. Robert A is in, living in Texas. Hey, Rad, love Law and Order back in the day, but their spinoffs today entertain the alphabet and woke agenda. Yes, they do. Bob, Mr. Hemi, yes, Bob Turner Natural, like all grief meant to work through. And that's what we do. We work through it. We push through. Just got a weight bench because I'm overweight and want to be strong again. Awesome. Move that energy. To this day, my mother leaves the last word for my father or asks him for permission at times. She's a strong woman, but she's always told me respecting your husband is key and leads to peace. Sitsi is back. Appreciate you being here. She has also commented multiple times. Thank you again. And your mother must be a saint. I'll be dead by then, Rad. Yeah, you go through the same thing when you lose someone close because it's the old blue pill, you that you have to kill. Yeah, I would agree with that. When did I become a unicorn? Why is it now so uncool to be a stay-at-home mom to these women who complain about where are all the men? Well, women have been programmed that they can have it all. That's the problem. They can be married. They can have kids. You go, girl. You be the career woman. And where does that lead them? It's outside of their biology. It's outside of literally how they're programmed. We're programmed to be men, provide and protect. Women are programmed to nurture and create and be feminine. When you go against it, you suffer. Very slim chance that both can survive at the same time, being married pill and red pill. I think it's a very small percentage, but I would agree with that statement, Robert. Very difficult. Ask the third wave feminists. The pants, the women that wear the pants back in the day. As a man who still dates, it's still up to me to do the asking and paying. Women sit on their hands. Dating is a transaction based for sure. Timmy Kramer, laying it down to Chinatown. It is definitely a bidirectional or a one-directional transaction for the 98%. What to do? An ex who keeps calling and wants to get back together and regrets her decision. Lamar in the house. You do not take her back. You are now the elf on the shelf. You've been on the back burner. She doesn't. And if you do take her back, you disrespect yourself, and she disrespects you. I am not a believer in taking the next back, regardless of anything. What do? Ignore. I was listening to Barbar the other night. He said that the nuclear family was a means to separate the man for the extended family. That makes a whole lot of sense, actually. Gotcha. She's for the streets, says Rib Grunt. Block and ghoster, says Brandon. Yeah, never take one back. What do you think about honeymoon? When you go on a vacation to a tropical place to get laid every day of your stay. My honeymoon was cool. We went to Hawaii. We got laid. We had sex twice a day. But I also know couples that don't do it. Like maybe once or twice. Depends. Honeymoons are more for pictures now. I'm thinking the simp is behind his lady and taking pictures of her on the beach so she can post on Instagram. Exes are exes for a reason. Well said. Testimony, cuffing season is real. My coworker today told me his girlfriend kicked him out yesterday. He lived with her one day after MGTOW Day. I feel bad for him. Maybe cuffing season is officially over, D-Man. It's outside of the woman's biology because in the cave days, there was no female career to be had. Exactly. It was the programming. When you go against programming in nature, you suffer. Bring him into the fold. Bring him, be an example of what a man can become when he's on purpose. Those boss babes are nauseating. I've seen a ton of them. Never bathe in dirty water. Absolutely, Robert. That's what we say around here. That's what it is. I understand about nurturing over having a career, but in some cases, doesn't it make sense so that you don't marry a man simply for provision because you have your own? My mother would always tell my sisters, you need to fall back. What happens if your husband gets sick or dies and you have to take care of the family? There is part of that based on how we live today. Again, we're not going back to the caveman days. This is a very good point. I'm just going to call you TR. The TR talks about, and I have no problem with a woman working, but you can't do it all. Ubermensch back in the house. Good to see you. My dad is blue pill, but my whole family turned against him because he got sole custody of me and my sister. Marriage broke him mentally. And I think that happens with a lot of people. I had to house my childhood friend when his lady, who he moved up north, kicked him out after a month with his kids in tow. Yeah, it happens. Sorry for the rant and spam, lads. The last 12 months were the hardest I ever experienced. Literally lost everything. Down to the last $100. I marked my diary in years past. Good for you. What a great story. Craig Adams has another good story. He left with his probably a basketball and lived in his Ford Explorer for 6 months, bathed at the gym. I reckon people can bounce back. You can rebel against defeat. It's what it comes down to. You can move forward, but it's mindset. You have to accept where you're at and accept that there's another possibility that's even better. What country is the most feminist based? MGTOW is worldwide. The United States. That's what I'm going to put USA for 300 Trebek behind that. But, it's tough. And even if you are married, a woman changes so much physically, mentally. I would see mental and emotional changes just because she was getting older. And she was clinging on. She wanted to be youthful. And it's very hard for a woman when she ages, most women, the 98%, because they want to stay young. They want to stay recognizable, validated by men. It's part of how they live. It's another thing you have to deal with if you're married. Peter M., Australia is mostly feminist. Yeah, Australia really went crazy here during the lockdown. To answer, TR, What's the extended family? That's what the extended family is for. Gotcha. Okay. So if something happens, she can be taken care of, right? Russia freezes actions against Ukraine. This is good for the world. I sure hope so. But are they just bluffing? Sweden is real bad, says Polska. I would agree with that statement. US, UK, Canada, and Australia, and Scandinavian countries. Yep. Same as Canada, they're feminists, right? And we've allowed it. Men are part of the problem, if not the part. I have to admit, I am ready to watch it all burn to the ground. I have popcorn, ammunition, and my waifu. We have not experienced anything like we have in the last 2 years. The lockdown, the tyranny, the transparency of the creation of what it did mentally and emotionally to the liberals and conservatives, how it pitted. We've never experienced this. I knew what life was before the internet. I knew what life was before color TVs, microwaves. And now we've experienced everything. These kids that are growing up today, like my kids, internet's always been around. Always been around. They don't know life without the internet. We live in a world that is so different now. I don't want war. There is no need. War's all about taking people's resources. It's simple as that. Modern day land grab. JR. Sifu's right. Remember that Putin was the head of the KGB, has access to a lot of secrets. Trucker, we stand behind our truckers, absolutely, Lisa, and what they're doing to them. Bad that the Swedish government has implemented a study as to why men are going overseas to marry. They'll never publish the results. Geez, I wonder why. Carl, that makes sense, but most of my family is overseas, so it might be different for me, but I get your point. Right. Moral ethics and values can only exist with rebelling against societal expectations. Marriage puts men in bizarro opposite land. Barely good tennis. Well said, brother. Check out his channel. I will not realize my dream, not fully, but I can enjoy the time that I have. That's the key, right? Can anyone fulfill all their dreams in life? Maybe. There's always something more to achieve, right? Or to become or to learn. Turkey or chicken ground, which tastes better to you? Turkey. I'd rather have the knowledge of red pill as a single father than battle with emotional ups and downs in my simp days. Absolutely, brother Slam. Salute to truckers. I can't speak for all, but they make my life easier. This is why we are here, because of trucks. Do you think the truck convoy will move to the US, TR? Potentially. It kind of is. But who knows? The internet started around 96, so basically the year you got married. 97 is the one I got married, Mysterio. I remember jumping on America Online in 2004, or 1994. Especially remember the bankers that backed both sides in the 20th century wars and the military-industrial complex. There you go. Sifu's got what? 65? So you've seen a lot. Keep on trucking, mother truckers. That's right. Salute to the truck driver. We respect those that literally keep us alive. They haul the medications. They haul the food. They haul the insulation and keep us warm from the elements. The refrigeration. Can't live without them. Jerron back. How much did I miss? Thanks for the opinion. And I'm getting my trucker shirt soon. Not much. We're just talking about how to move forward out of the red pill rage. Is being red pilled and married possible? 66 for Sifu. Bonafide. There you go. Check out Barely Good Tennis's channel, D-Man50, posting all the good channels out here. Appreciate you guys being here. Mercy sakes alive, we got ourselves a convoy. There's a lot of truckers that are MGTOW. I just started listening to, what's his name? Quiet Herb. He's got some good stuff. They see a lot too. Lamar, if a girl asks you, do you love me? How do you respond? You say, I love lots of things about you. I love how you make me dinner. I love how you scratch my back. I love how you do what I say. I love how you dress the way I want you to dress. I love how you're always ready to throw down. That's how you talk to them. I'm telling you, I do that. There's already news report that 1,000 truckers have pledged to go to DC in early March. Well, good. We are in a world now, especially who Biden just put in for the nuclear energy secretary. He is a non-binary, a gay man too. He's gay, non-binary, and also is into what they call. And this is an article. His name is Sam Brinton, and he's a young guy. Went to MIT. He's behind our nuclear energy program. And he also plays a puppy role in some weird fetish. They call it pup culture, and they put on puppy outfits, and they hang around with handlers. I mean, I'm not making this up. It's all. I mean, you can read it. I don't know who did. CNN, Fox News did an article on the guy. That's the world we live in. We live in with a Department of Human Health that I don't know, is a shim. You can't be married when she's already married to the state, HR, police, the gynocentric court, and white knights. Her allegiance is with them and not you. Well, you know what? Well said, Jerome. Yeah. They're definitely married to the state. They're married to programming that they can take whatever they want because the state will give it to them. I took COBOL in high school. Embarrassed. So you learned COBOL, COBOL? Awesome. That's a mainframe program. It's still used today. All the banks still use COBOL. In fact, COBOL programmers, they're old now. They're all retiring, 65, 70, 75, and there's not a lot of kids that know COBOL. Beautiful news in March. $30 million of your tax dollars for crack pipe. I'm telling you, I don't know if you guys saw Ozark, the last season, but they're trying to make a deal with the FBI and the cartels, and they wanted the cartel to keep going another 5 years. There's something behind the House of Cards and Ozarks and all that crap that's real. Jesus Christ, Biden is an effing clown, even if he is alive. The guy's whacked. Kanye West simp, now he's in trouble. Did you see him? Supposedly he sent a truckload of roses to Kim Kardashian's house. What a simp. People may think I'm wasting my life. Really, I operate on my own schedule. I interact with who I want when I want. That is freedom. Peace, quiet, and freedom is what we do. Never simp. Never simp. Learn from Governor Cuomo. The accusation alone will ruin your life in court. Stay out of the stay out of the public. The first program language I learned was COBOL. Kanye has problems? Dang right he does. He's blue-pilled. If I had 1,000 tongues, it would not be enough to thank you, Rad and Rad Gang. You're all helped this Brit in my red pill journey and literally helped me off the edge. We are glad you are here. Glad to that you are helping others. MGTOW Outlaw, I believe, has a channel too, according to Timmy Kramer. A lot of people overseas have expressed utter confusion of the alphabet people in government. It's ton. There's an agenda at stake. My answer to her is if she asks if I love her, that's kind of a dumb question. Do my actions tell you anything? That's right. The Omicron variant disrupted the far left New World Order plans. Once that came and became prevalent, the need for control under the guise of protection has changed. People are waking up. Gotcha. Yeah, I agree. I did a video on that. Kanye, the super simp. MGTOW saves lives. All I cared about when I first did it said, maybe my experience can help someone else. And it hurt. It hurt. But we're all helping each other. Every one of you experienced something. Brothers, remember that the red pill brings freedom. And it's a superpower. We tell Outlaw in the House. What do you think of Michael Keaton and Michael Douglas as actors? I like them both. He was great in Gordon Gekko. And Michael Keaton was great in Batman and Multiplicity and stuff like that. I wish children could be give the opportunity to choose whether to stay with the father or mother once a couple is divorced. You know, we're in a different world now. Outlaw's new channel, D-Man 50 posting it. There you go. There you go. What, Dak's in the house? Good to see you, Dak. Hope you doing well. I think you're out of YouTube jail, right? Brandon Trueblood, shout out to MGTOW Outlaw, has a good channel. All right. Chris from Mexico, ¿cómo estamos? I got my first internet connection from a Corn Pop cereal box. They used to give a CD for free. Was it the AOL one? That's funny, Corn Pops. I used to like Corn Pops. 2 Dax are better than 1. That's funny. Seriously, what's the point of this existence if the sexes can't live in harmony? I'm fine with myself, but it kind of sucks. I think that you just have to understand it, and you have to understand our purposes in life. Marriage and relationships came about later in life under the guise of love and I'm going to help be your better half and all that stuff, which the reason people should get married is to combine resources to create a family and to create a legacy, as they did hundreds of years ago. Love was not part of the equation. When it became part of the equation, all hell broke loose. What's the number one reason why marriages don't work nowadays? Programming. That there's somebody better. Do you know jobs is slavery in plain sight? Yes, just over broke. It's all created by you to fail. You work your whole life and they want you to retire when you get ready to die. And that's a thing. That's also a deal about red pill. You are awoke. You're awakened to the financial pieces of life, working the 40 hours a week and then dying. You understand government. You understand the agenda, sociology, all sorts of stuff. Well said, Jerome. The great thing about this community is that you don't have to guess whether or not your brothers want the best for you. All this advice saves men. I agree. You know, Barely Good Tennis got a story. He started getting out, seeing the world, getting the confidence to do it, and his life's improved immensely. This is life-changing information. It changed my life. In my opinion, the red pill will bring you peace, and peace is priceless for me, gentlemen. Peace, quiet, and freedom. John Boston's back. I wonder where JB was. Government wants broken homes, more people working, and more taxes. That is what the government wants. Remember when the government was set up to fear the people, and now the people fear the government? A little history lesson. Good to have you, John. Red pill is an awakening to many things. Yes, it's a thinking. It's literally, I call it reality versus fantasy, that the reality wins. Too Fast is still in jail. Damn. Check out Dak's channel. Hey, Rad, now no way you can be married and be the red pill. It's like trying to be tall and short at the same time. It just doesn't work. Joe Biden. I very, very few. I have a hard time accepting that. I would say a 1% can do it. How about that? I'm not a fatalist. Just over broke is a job. Of course, on the other side, the grass is greener. You have to water your own lawn. I always like to say that. The grass is only greener where you water it. Right? Jobs are blocking all of our blessings. Well, it's basically created us to absolutely servitude. I think many marriages fail because cognitive empathy ceases to exist. Since marriage is supposed to be death till you part, you have to consciously keep it alive to be forever. Well said, Lisa. I always afraid to travel alone. Now I travel and coach tennis, always getting out of my comfort zone thanks to Red Pill. Yeah, and you're doing great. You're on purpose. You're teaching your students tennis, and you're loving it. Drawn your right, lad, side hustle, side hustle, side. Once you've picked up enough knowledge and have drawn as much resources, you'll have all you need to go solo. And it's confidence, right? 2 fast stacks and a second channel. I think it's harder for men that have never had intimate relationship with women than the men that have had them and got out against their will. I think you're right. I water fast daily. I water my forest daily. There you go. Marriages fail due to selfishness. Yeah, programming. Programming says, hey, you go, girl. You can do whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Just go be part of your life. Or the dude, you know? I mean, men are also part of the problem. When's your next vacation? Rad. April, Mexico. Who's going? What's harder than being married? And Red Pill was my divorce lawyer happened to be married. I jokingly called him out on that. My divorce lawyer was amazing. He was married, but he was also, he told me, he said, if my wife ever divorced me, I'll give her everything. I don't care. He'd seen so much of it. He just doesn't want to fight. Lack of values and morals, also instant gratification, says TR. I would agree. I would agree with that statement. Playing prison handball, you'll lose a ton of weight. Constantly moving forward in life is the key to success. Acceptance is the first thing, the first move you have to do is accept where you're at. But again, accept where you can get to and accept where you've come from. That is the key. Once you accept, your brain will go to work to put the people, places, and opportunities in store. If you're confident and you believe in yourself, we got to remove fear. We got to remove anxiety out of life. Anxiety means you're not on purpose. That's what it means. Fear means you're not on purpose. Did anyone see the transformer that melted down because a coworker didn't capitulate to say its pronouns? Oh, there's so many of those. So annoying. I don't drink, but I took your advice about talking to bartenders while I solo travel rad conversations changed my life. Yeah. That's, bartenders are cool because they talk to so many people, and a lot of them are very just calm and chill because they listen. Yeah, good for you, Wes. I'd love to go to Mexico, but I'm not taking the poke to do so. You don't have to be poked to go to Mexico. You just have to have a negative test. Easy. And then when you come back, you get a test that they say they swab it, and everyone's negative going back. Red Pill opened my eyes to movies, and especially from the 80s. Eddie A. Yeah, me too. You start seeing things when you start really digesting the reality versus the fantasy. You start seeing things differently. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Don't do it. It's just right. All these 80s movies, the guy's trying to win the girl. Well, and it's in music. It's in television. It's in books. It's with your cousins getting married. My mother's over 60 and she chooses to work remotely. When are you going to retire? When you're dead? There you go. Knew this guy that started a carpet cleaning business. Just bought a carpet cleaner, learned how to do it, went to like a weekend school somewhere, bought a deal. He's got 9 trucks now. He's making over $1 million a year. This whole poke and woke narrative is falling apart. Wait till the economy tanks. It ain't looking good, John, is it? There's a reason why people say bartenders are really good shrinks. I think they talk to so many people, they get it. Just go to Hawaii. It's affordable, and there's a lot of off-grid style living. Shit, you don't even need air conditioning in Hawaii. Go the middle of Kauai. People are living. Apparently, in Kauai, my buddy was there several years ago. It was out hiking by the Nepali coast, and within the middle of the island, there's people living there that have been living off the land for 20 years. And they come into town like once a month to get aspirin or what have you, the candy bar. Do any women truly love men? That is the question. I think a 1% to 2% do. Dak used to be a bartender. I got to ask Dak about my kid's car. When your girl asks you if you love her, you say, yes, I do, but I don't need you to live. Once you make that clear, she will know that's your position in life. You love her, but you're not devoted to her. Or she's not on the pedestal, right? That she's a complement to your life. Women don't want to be the purpose of a man. They want to be the complement. They want to see the man go off and be an amazing version of himself. And she wants to be part of that. Right? I heard the Super Bowl is a woke mess. Super Spreader Bowl, don't watch it. Who knows? Still have not seen a Build Back Better hat, but I've seen plenty of stickers of Biden saying, I did that. I can create a cycle channel for anxiety and RP connection. I overcame generalized anxiety disorder naturally by unlocking my masculine energy. Yeah. When you're on your purpose, things disappear. Anxiety, worry, fear. If you went to Vegas and had a 50% chance losing it all gambling and pay years down the road after losing, and the slot machines initiate an 80% failure rates, you'd be clean out of your head. MGTOW outlaw, laying it down in Chinatown. I would agree with that statement. I head to Hawaii this Saturday to talk to my realtor, probably my last destination. Awesome. Females do not want love. They want to be desired. For the majority, absolutely. And then they get bored and they're done. Super Bowl is a woke BLM fest. Halftime show is stupid. I was fine with Snoop. Eminem took a knee. Whatever. I just called the local health service in UK and put with a female again, and she was just reading a script and seemed superficial with her question. Yeah. That's all they do. Medical care is just they look at, what the computer tells them. Once women know your devotion to them, they tend to use it to manipulate. Don't give them the chance. It's coming from a woman, guys, Chris Escando. And it's only going to be becoming an issue when you're not on purpose or you're putting her on a pedestal. Unless you have a substance problem, I don't see how a shrink can help with relationship problems. They want you to keep coming back to spend money. Jason Whitlock did an interesting commentary on the woke bowl. Robert A. An absolute deal breaker with any girl is one that has been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. Yes, sir, Bob. Build crack better, says John Boston. $30 million. If a girl tells you're with me because of sex, but still calls you and tells you she loves you, don't believe a thing a woman says that to you, Lamar. Actions. And if she is your ex, she will remain the ex. Is life better than a woman that rejects you and wants you back? No reason to get married with women filing for divorce 70% of the time. I would agree with that statement. Exactly is the key. And I think you said the right thing, Chris. Giving men advice about women. Keeping a woman happy is like having 2 full-time jobs and one pays you for your time. Well said, Sultan. Anyone diagnosed not actively working on it with a professional, run. And I would say even with a professional. I haven't seen the Super Bowl since Nipplegate, and I plan to avoid it. I'm just done with the whole woke world. The woke sports, the woke everything. Everything's woke. Eminem took the knee and the national anthem wasn't playing. He bent the knee for Tupac. There you go. Boycotting the Olympics as well, says D-Man. Don't sit for anyone anytime. Haven't watched the Super Bowl or Olympics in the last decade. Even commercials suck now. They do. What happened at the Super Bowl? Well, apparently the Rams won when they win by 3 points or something, 23-20. I didn't watch it. I have other things to do now instead of watching woke people and games that are rigged. Don't try to understand women. Women understand women, and they hate each other. Al Bundy. Al Bundy for 300 Trebek. Yes, you want to see culture. Watch Archie Bunker, and Married with Children. I like watching the skiers wipe out, especially the ladies. But they're hauling ass down that mountain, that's for sure. I can't even do background work anymore, but you have to be fully vaccinated or get tested. figure out a way to let them think that you are poked. But I just did hear that Amy Schumer is hosting the Oscars. Huh. She's that blonde kind of chunky girl. If a woman can go from a guy to guy, it's because she's viewed as physically attractive and affectionate, not because she has a brain and successful in career. Well said, Mysterio. Mary Blige was a cowgirl when I thought she was all about R&B. I'm not in. Al Bundy, home sweet hell. 7 playoff games were decided by 3 points. It's totally rigged. X Games are better. I would agree with that statement. I watched a Woke Fest and the Super Bowl broke out. Sports are businesses first and foremost, and they do whatever they have to do to get even paid if it means replacing their core audience. You know what? It's a business. The NBA is a business. It's an entertainment business. The refs rigged it. I think there's something about it. They wanted the Rams to win. LA needed a win. Everything is a distraction. And that's another thing about red pill philosophy. Look for the distractions in life. The phones, the TV, the computers. There's a lot of distractions, a lot of subconscious programming. Here I was hoping to learn about how my white supremacy affects everyone, and then they played some game with a ball. Just put the ball in the hoop, LeBron, and shut up. What's the vibe like in it's laid back at times, very competitive. Utahns are very competitive with each other. If you're a dentist, you compete with your dentist down the road. When Oregon, you were a colleague. Dentists helped other dentists. Here, it's the opposite. You did win 100. Good for you, brother. If LA didn't win, might have a star. Peggy Bundy. Hi, honey. Did you miss me? With every bullet so far. I don't watch the Olympics. I love seeing the news stories about the American figure skater who defected to China, falling numerous times and crying. Interesting. I did not see that or hear about that. Rigged big time. Word is that magnets are on the balls. Basketball, football, doesn't matter. That would make sense. T-Fizz. Won me a little. Now I can pay more to attorneys. There you go. T-Fizz, where you at? Pro sports today is more like WWE, staged for entertainment. And I do not disagree with that. Married and red pill shouldn't be in the same sentence. Even video games are a distract. Absolutely. Guys, if you guys have an addiction to video games, and I'm talking an addiction where you're playing them all the time, you got to get out of it. Living in a screen is not good. Play video games. I'm not against video games. I'm against video games taking away your life. Some people use video games to decompress. Great. That want to have some entertainment. But don't play 10 hours a day in video games. Play an hour. Don't watch 10 hours of video every day. 10 hours of TV. You know? But you're right, Matt. Why waste your weekend watching sports? Go out camping and hiking. Damn right. Hike the waterfall on Sunday. Frozen. That's great. Slipping and sliding all the way up, 1.5 miles. When you're in Vegas, did you play the slots? I usually spend like $2 when I go to Vegas. Because I know, I mean, every now and again, I might spend 20, 25 at blackjack, but no, I don't typically play. I used to be obsessed with college football. That has become tainted as well. Carl, you're absolutely right. Look at NASCAR. They're replacing a built-in lifelong audience over woke ideology and going after woman fans and other minorities who don't care about the sport. True words, MGTOW Outlaw. What do you think of the black pillars? I have no problem with guys that want to live their life with peace, quiet, and freedom. Eagle versus the Doors. Who wins? The Doors for me. There's zero loyalty in the sports world. Oh, yeah. It's worse than marriage. They'll jump for another team. They're these professional athletes, monkey branch. Texas brother, land of the woman. Win in court even after failing multiple drug tests while you never have. T-Fits. Texas, doesn't Texas have no alimony? Good to have you, brother. Doors, hand down. I'm a Doors fan. I'm a big Jim Morrison fan. What happened to playing outside until the streetlights came on? Back in Rad's early childhood, a BB gun was used to shoot holes in lights. One of my friends is heavy into his video games to the point where he ducks out of camping with his young kids. Yeah, that's a cope. That's it's not good. Black pill fools are ridiculously stupid, just like Hormaxer. I don't know much about the black pill. I think I know FJT talks a lot about he was part of black pill. Is that they swear off any type of woman, right? Love married with children. Who the man with an inching gun? Who's the man who kills for fun? There you go. Married with children. Can't go wrong. Who was the chick on Married with Children, the blonde? She was pretty hot. She doesn't look good anymore. Mothers, news media, helicopter parents, tiger moms. They're everywhere. Steely Dan or Pink Floyd? I'm going Floyd. You're going for Steely Dan. Wow. Snap. Jack, do it again. I want to have children, but I don't want to marry. I do like Michael McDonald, though. That is true. No alimony. MGTOW Outlaw is down with Steely Dan. Floyd, hands down. Thank you, Polska. Thank you, Polska. Big Floyd fan. Comfortably numb. Rad in chat. Does anyone here like Welch's fruit snacks? If I'm hiking, I'll eat one. Man, when we used to give them to the kids, and I'd eat them every now and again. Mr. Hemi 4-Speed says Steely Dan. Christina Applegate, that's her. She's hot. She was hot back in the day. Texas has alimony, but they call it spousal support. Way to repackage that, Texas. Super Bowl score decided by 3. Rams were favored by 4. Yeah, rigged. Subdue Thinking Apes channel. Very intelligent guy who gives a good look at baptism. Yeah, look, if you're happy, you have peace, quiet, and freedom, great. Steve McQueen. I'm going with McQueen. Black pill swear off humanity, basically pretty dark stuff. That's what I've heard. I've said it once before. I am not anti-woman. I don't hate women. I understand women, and I am the captain of my plane who will decide who gets to fly on my plane. And if there's a time that I need to lay down with a lady, I will lay down with the lady if I choose to do so. But there's guys that are monk, and I appreciate guys that do not want to be involved, and I think there's great reasons to. The risks outweigh the rewards. But I think there's various different levels of thinking. I just find women too damn attractive. Hey, 19, great song about that old guy chasing young women. Rush fan for you. Too bad about Neil Peart, though. Brandon Trueblood going for Clint Eastwood. Clint was a badass, too. Black Sabbath or Zeppelin. I'm going to go Zeppelin all the way. Mr. Hemi 4-Speed says Zepp. Hormaxer came out against Vention, and I roasted him. He's also a racist black pill fool. Gotcha. Rad, you and Jenny McCarthy are close. I remember Jenny McCarthy was cute, but she's a little wacky. Are you reeling in the years? Reeling in the years. That's the Steely Dan's. 80s trash metal, Megadeth, Slayer, Anthrax. What about Exodus? Remember Exodus? Anthrax. DRI went real thrash metal after their first one or two. Corrosion of Conformity. Zeppelin for Bob. He didn't like Iron Man. Top Floor, new subscriber. Good to have you. Where are you from? Good to have you in the chat. Zeppelin all day long for me. Rush is great, says Brandon. The black pills can't decide where they stand for. Don't they get mad if you get a girlfriend or something, or you go out with a girl? Jenny McCarthy. Those are the days, Lisa. The problem today is when you call out a woman for her actions, she and all her friends think you hate women. You're not supposed to do that, Carl. That is the cardinal sin. Dead wrong. I'm a huge Sabbath fan, but I don't like radio songs like Iron Man. Jerron Markel, Black Sabbath, going old school, Ozzy and Randy Rhoads. Rush for 300, Trebek. Rush. Now we're talking. Guar. Warf, I've seen War. AC/DC, the band with 3 chords. But do they know how to play? The Police or Bob Marley? I'm going to go Bob Marley. How about Leonard Skinner and Free Bird? Leonard Skinner, not too shabby. The cousins of Leonard Skinner started 38 Special. He said that in his own videos. Wow. Hemi 4-Speed's going for Bob. My friends grew up with her sister. She's from the South Side. Interesting. I did see her without clothes at one point. Cheers to everyone here. Rush are Canadian. I tell you what, Geddy Lee, man, he is not a very attractive man. I bet he got tail. Polska Bob going for Marley. Amber Thiessen, Saved by the Bell. Oh, she was all right, but I like that blonde, Elizabeth, whoever that went on to become that Showgirls chick. I thought she was hot. Vention, rest in peace. D-Man, shout out to Vention. Queen was designed for radio over all the bands in the classic rock era. I don't disagree with that. Jerron going for the Police. Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. You guys are still live. I just got home. We're still going. Rib Grunts, AC/DC. Malcolm Young. My college roommate had Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, for a babysitter. He had pictures. She was hot as a teen. Interesting. Metallica for the win. Dak. Saw Metallica in '89. Metallica, I think rock. Metallica is Red Pill, man. Those guys talk about war, pain, male rage, you name it. Thunderstruck was a great song. They play at the games all the time. They need to give all newborn baby girls a jab called accountability. Bet you they won't invent that. A jab called accountability for 300 Trebek. I hope Vention's sister didn't get 1 single cent from him. I knew this world was over when folks look at me weird after I tell them I'm strictly hetero. What is going on out here? They don't. It's the programming. They're trying to change it. Go to fanboy. I think we all saw Jenny McCarthy naked. I think you're right. Phoebe Cates in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Oh, she was hot on that diving board. Liz Berkeley, that's her. That's who I'm talking about. I improved my English listening to the Backstreet Boys. Backstreet Boys tonight. When my daughter was 6 months, we went to Vegas, me, my wife, my daughter, and Backstreet Boys was playing in Vegas. The band versus the high numbers. The band. Elizabeth Berkeley. Brandon says Roxanne is a simp song. I would agree with that statement. Iron Maiden, Japan. We used to say that to the, you like Iron Maiden? Yeah, I love Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden, Japan. Iron Maiden, China. Bruce Dickinson's cousin is Rob Dickinson, the lead singer of Catherine Wheel, which is one of my fave bands. Or, well, in my top 20. Weird Al, says Jerry. White and Nerdy. Billy Idol or Jim Morrison? Ooh, I got to go Jim, but I love me some early Billy Idol from Generation X. I got all Generation X's stuff. Do you guys know that he was in a punk band called Generation X, and Dancing with Myself was a Generation X song, and then he left and became Billy Idol, and then he brought that song with him? Thank you. Trivia for 300 Trebek. Paranoid Live with Randy Rhoads. Brandon Trubla going for the band. I mean, this is, you come together, you share likes and agree. We agree, we disagree. We like to hear from others. And this is what it's all about. It's a brotherhood where we can help each other. There's a lot of friends in these forums. When you go on Dak's channel, a lot of the same folks. Hey guys, what's up? You go on CJ's channel. You go on Scotty's side, Hammerhand. It's amazing. It's a lot of friendships. Wasn't Raquel Welch the bomb back in the day? I remember the poster in her shot. She was pretty hot. Lisa. Live at the Budokan. I remember that. Tell me what, when I meet with women against false acts, they have been bringing up Alyssa Milano. Yep, she has. She was pretty hot back in her day. I will give you that, T-Fits, definitely. And she's ultra. Most women in their later in life, I'm going to say 98%, go ultra feminist liberal because they're victim status. Remember, as Lisa Smith said, they should give newborn baby girls the poke of accountability. 2 minutes to midnight and power slave. Rebel Iron Maiden's plane is called Ed Force One. Yeah, he does. Dickinson is a pilot, I believe. I think it was a commercial pilot. Jim Morrison. Ooh, Brandon, good. I'm a big Jim Morrison fan. This is the end. KMFDM doing it again. Versus Tool. Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, I like Kill Mother Effin' Depeche Mode versus Tool. I'm going to go Tool Maynard. Billy Idol and Cope would be a great double bill. That would. Billy Preston or Denny Lang? Good question. Who do you think? Ruins the fantasy. T-Fits. Yes, it does. I heard and know of all these bands. Somebody tells me I'm probably the youngest one here. Go to Fanboy. There was a 14-year-old kid that would hang out in this chat. I don't remember who he was. Saw Def Leppard in '83 when Rick had both arms and Steve Clark was still with us. Pyromania was the best album. I would agree with that. He didn't like On Through the Night. That's some good stuff, but Pyromania kicked ass. And you saw him with both arms, and he still killed it. What a great comeback story. Tool, hands down. Looking forward with you and 5 years of hope or freedom. You and John Boston, we should do another one. John's digging himself out of the Boston winter. Hammerhand. Hammerhand's a good dude, man. If you want to see peak Raquel Welch, watch Fuzz 72 with Burt Reynolds. Smokey and the Bandit as well. She was extremely hot. No more. She turned to a flaming feminazi. Yeah, because her looks no longer got her jobs. So she has to go to what? The next way to get attention was to be an ultra-liberal feminist. Oh, my gosh. Dickinson is also a master fencer. I did not know that. Project Veritov has just dropped another bombshell. Got to go to Rumble to watch it because YouTube sucks. The big fat hairy one. Hammerhand is live on his Pop Culture Rocks channel. And I'm going to have to jump off and check him out. Stink Fist by Tool. Tool's great. How about Pussifer? After Pyromania, Def Leppard went full scent mode. I would agree with that statement. Love Bites, remember? Sugarloaf or Cream? I'm going to go Cream. If you never heard of Hammers, cheers them out, brothers. Hammer Hand. Good dude. Billy Preston, Map Downers, going for Billy. Okay, Sugarloaf for Mr. Hemi. Docket in My Dreams, Don Dokken. Sugar Hill Gang or Tupac? Sugar Hill Gang. To the hump, to the thump, and the hump, to hump, to the hump, to the thump, to the hip hop, to the hip. What's that? Sugar Hill Gang. Rock of Ages was their best song. You don't think When Love and Hate Collide isn't their best song? When love and hate collide. Did you see the Beatles documentary Get Back? I have not. There you go. The issue, because I was controlling and abusive. Rapper's Delight. There you go, Lisa. Cesar likes Rapper's Delight too. Cesar is also a big rap fan. NWA. Do you think that Rumble will take over YouTube? I don't know. No. YouTube's too big. Fly Me to the Moon. Fly Me to the Moon is a... Who sang that? Frank Sinatra. I like hot butter on my breakfast toast. Let It Go is Def Leppard's best song. Interesting. Hammerhand's channel. Dak puts up. Thank you, brother. Jordan Rudis or Derek Shannon. Jordan rules for me. All right. All right, I'll go for that. Is it beta ask women out? If she wants you to ask her out, I don't think it's a problem. I wouldn't do it in the simp way. Hey, I'm going to dinner. You coming or someone else? That's how you ask them out. You coming with me, or do I need to call somebody else? It's called Sense of Urgency. Or maybe Too Late for Love. Too Late. That was a great song. I got me some Def Leppard. Bob said it's done, but here is his link. Sub to Hammerhand, the original. Hammerhand keeps coming back when they take him down. Mike Patton rocked it over many bands. Yes, he did. Was Sinatra red pilled? He probably was at one point. It was nice seeing and chatting with y'all. Good to have you. Check us out on Sunday, brother. I did nothing on Valen Simp's Day. No flowers, no nothing. My girl complained about it. She wanted something from you. Oh shit. Okay, gotcha. Bogey and Cary Grant never ran after chicks in the movies, nor did Don Draper, for the most part. I never got laid when I played Hysteria. I never not gotten laid. Hysteria. Van Halen. I love Van Halen, especially 1 and 2. Van Halen's good. Looking like it is over. If you ask a woman out, their friends will tell her you should pay her way. Think about it. And it was interesting. So listen to Coach Craig Adams. And he talked about women spend so much money getting ready, nails, hair, makeup, all that money, that there's an expectation that the man pay for it. And, he put skin in the game. What do you guys think about that? It was an interesting concept to think about. You sing well, Rad. You had a band. I had a band in college. And there's a couple videos floating around, Chris, on YouTube with me singing. Living Color or Fishbone? Fishbone. U-G-L-Y, you ain't got no alibi. Mysterio, no need to be red-pilled. But I do like Living Color, Mysterio. I never liked Mr. Bungle. My big sis loved them. Crazy clown music. Hey, guess what? Whatever you do, don't get into My Little Pony and become a brony. See you later, Timmy. So basically, don't chase women. Let them ask you out. Well, why not? If a woman's interested, she'll show you signs. If you have to ask her out, like, hey, I really like you. Do you want to go on a date with me this weekend? That's you're basically, you might as well just get on your knees and beg. Sammy Hagar, 3-Lock Box. And what's the other one I really like? He's got another great rockin' song. Can't Try 55. What's the other one? Come on. Real famous. Jump was one of my all-times when I visited guitar. I love Jump. Remember when Jump came out? 1984. I was 11 years old and turned 12 that year. Oh, I love that. I had an Eddie Van Halen poster. I don't want a woman with fake hair and makeup. And nails, yeah. I like natural beauty. Bad Brains, one of my favorites, Matt. You know that. With the Quickness, Eye Against Eye. Was playing them the other night. HR, brother. Dr. No. Mighty Mighty Boston. They broke up? Wow. Well, I think nobody was into their music after a while. They had their time. Okay. P Therapy Square. I don't like Raptor Claws and wigs. There you go, Raptor Claws. Phil D. Hey, Rad, you're the man. Appreciate you being here, Phil. I can't drive 55. Your love is driving me crazy. What's the other one? It's got I'm gonna be 50, so I get a break. I forgot something. Your love. Salute, Rad, to Billy the Goat's in the house. Check out Billy the Goat's channel as well. Mas Tequila. That's a guy going his own way. Sammy Hagar. 75 years old. Still looks great, has a great time, does what he wants on purpose. What do you do to a girl who wants you, but she knows you got a girlfriend? Play them both. I have a Boss Tones tattoo. I've seen them every time they came to Chicago. The impression that I get. I like their early stuff. With the one with the car, the car on the front CD cover. She's a maniac. She's a maniac. Hot for Teacher, every teenage boy's dream. AC/DC songs are always done by most of the cover bands in my city. Well, they're easy to play. They're just 3 chords. It's 4:20. My roof is gone due to strong wind. I live in Northern Europe. Former simp, hang in there, brother. Glad you're here. Be safe. Mike P, heavy metal. Me too. Ska is dead. Ska's gone. The Toasters, Dance Hall Crashers, Madness. If women would be faithful, then they would be worth buying dinner. But since the woman won't stay married, why demonstrate you're a good provider by buying dinner, Brandon? Well, can't go wrong with that statement. Heavy metal is what you're thinking of, Brad. And not heavy metal. Maybe that's it. Even chicks working drive-through windows are wearing those gnarly fake eyelashes. Yes. Colleagues, are they ever going to not be in style? They're going to look back 20 years ago. What are these snaffalophagus? Tight-fitting jeans. You also love Conway Twitty. Conway Twitty's good stuff. Old school. Old school. Conway does that old school country. George Strait, Dwight Yoakam stuff. My mom was into George Strait and Conway Twitty. The Red Devil back. Hey, Rad, thanks for your stream. Thanks for being here, Red Devil. You're a good dude, man. I believe they broke up because Dickie isn't a vaxxer, doesn't want to do shows that good for him. Remember the guy that just skanks the whole time? That's all he does. It's a good sign. Well, I'm glad that you are safe, my man. Hang in there. Scott is not dead. You got your porcupine hat, Polska Bob? Do you have your snake skin suit? Are you wearing your bowling shoes? I saw Sammy and Eddie backstage at a Van Halen. They were not getting along, and it felt like Eddie was more heavy in that situation. You know, Sammy bounced back if you think about it. He got kicked out of one of the biggest bands ever. He came back and went his own way. He got divorced. They divorced him, and he went and was great. Women buy groceries and cook. Men buy dinner when you go out. It's a partnership. If she spent so much getting ready, she's too high maintenance, and it's going to be a good partner. Cesar, laying it down to Chinatown. I can't stand the women that wear those black leggings. Rad, those fake eyelashes will not go away. Gotta love capitalism. I can't stand all the fillers and crap. They can't smile. They're all just whacked out. Sesame Street or Electric Company? Electric Company. What's that song? Who's saying Electric Avenue? Dun, 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 dun. And then we'll take it higher. Mm-hmm. I want that Spanish chick from Narcos Mexico. There's a lot of pretty Latinas. I'm going to tell you that. Hank Williams Jr., there you go. He's playing, right? I did see Lucas Nelson, Willie Nelson's kid. He's legit in Jazz Fest, New Orleans. Grateful Dead or Fish, man. I don't like them both. I don't like either of them. It's not that I don't like either of them. I never got into them. I would say I don't even know any Fish stuff, but I do know like 4 or 5 Grateful Dead songs. I just never got into Jerry Garcia. Not that they're bad. I was listening to punk rock and metal at the time. The guys in my high school that loved, the dancing bears on their Volkswagen cars and everything, and the pictures and the tie-dye, we just listened to punk rock and metal back in the day. Kanye wants Kim back. Lamar. Of course he does. He's living in the fantasy, not the reality that she's a 304, and you can't make a 304 into a housewife. RBF. The RBF. Dak's loving I can see Dak liking the Grateful Dead. Eddie Grant. There you go. Electric Avenue. Why is it legal for a female to grape a man, but it's completely illegal for a man to grape a female? That, my friend, is because they have a pass. They have a pass in life. Hank Williams Sr. He good stuff. Did he die? Definitely Electric Company, Matt Downer. Bad Religion. Love me some Bad Religion. 20th Century Digital Boy. Just talking about them last night. Eddie Grant sings Electric Avenue. Oh boy, we're going to rock down to Electric Avenue. Jerron knows them. Isn't Eddie Grant from like Brooklyn or something? Electric Light Orchestra. I thought the Ramones were overrated. Ramones got some good stuff. They might be a little overrated. They were different. Lucas is legit. Love that Pearl Jam cover he did with his dad. Yeah, Lucas is legit. I mean, he actually, I also like Sturgill Simpson too. Cake or Depeche Mode? You'll Dance to Anything by Depeche Mode. Man, I like some Depeche Mode. I do have their greatest hits. Some of it's a little too simpy for me, but I like the Barrel of a Gun, some of their later stuff. I do like Strange Love. Dun, dun, dun. I like that album. That would be yes, Mr. Sultan. ELO all the way. Starlight, Xanadu, Tightrope, Midnight Blue. The Clash. Just was listening to The Clash the other day. London Calling, one of my faves. Eddie Grant is from Brooklyn. That's what I thought. Goldfinger. Blue Oyster Cult. Don't Fear the... Dak is all classic, man. Dak, do you like Grapes of Wrath? I bet you like Grapes of Wrath, too. Big Canadian band. Who's the other big Canadian band? Outside of... It's very similar. I always remember the songs from the Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Oh, yeah. Sturgill. You like Sturgill, too? I saw Sturgill. In fact, I flew from Dallas. I was in Dallas I didn't have my kids that weekend. I went with this gal that I worked with. We got a hotel room for 4 nights and watched Sturgill. And who else is playing there? Lucas Nelson, Jack Johnson. But Sturgill, you can't go wrong with Sturgill. I love Sturgill for... I don't know, last 6, 7 years, 8 years. Good for you, brother. Depeche Mode, Enjoy the Silence. Yeah. It's interesting. They play their own instruments too. Black Crowes or Lenny Kravitz? I'm going to go Crows. ELO is a highly underrated band. Traveling Wilburys, Roy Orbison. Dax throwing them out there. Golden Earring. Mike P. Those astonishing women surrounding narcos own a full subculture. We call them buchonas. They're the high-maintenance Mexican la buchona. In Venezuela, they're called cifrina. Devo or Weird Al? I respect Weird Al. I'm going to go Weird Al. Tragically Hip. That's right. The Grapes of Wrath and Tragically Hip were the 2 big bands. Good for you. Sloan is they are good. I like Sloan. Memphis, Stars. Isn't Stars from Alberta? Platinum Blonde, Grapes, The Spoons. Okay. Haven't heard of them. Helix, Who Did Rock You? If Bezos, Bill Gates got divorced, who are we to? Yeah, absolutely. Hugh to Hoob. In the chat. Good to have you. John Mayer. He's all right. I respect his talent. I got a CD or 2 of him. But he's very woke. Mysterio saw ZZ Top and Black Crowes in 94. ZZ Top. Nice. North South back. Good to have you, brother. We listen to reggae in San Diego. Yellowman. Pato Banan. What about Burning Spear? Do you listen to Burning Spear? Big Tragically Hip fan here. And the Grapes of Wrath, right? Queen, Eddie Trunk or Howard Stern for radio. Eddie Trunk. He's more metal based. Rebel, the Boston's album with the car on it was Kinder Words. The cassette was yellow. I can still see. Remember that one hard song they played? Heavy guitars. Love that song. I've seen Jesus play with flames in a lake of fire that I was standing in. Gotcha. Anyone into Aerosmith? They got a few songs. I liked original Aerosmith, like Sweet Emotion, and those songs. Weird Al, great songs, better musician than given credit. And Hugh to Who, when he actually called Kurt Cobain, and Kurt Cobain was tickled pink that he would cover his song. He says, if Weird Al covers your song, you made it. You've made it. Toys in the Attic is a great album. Check it out. Linkin Park, good stuff. Too bad Chester took his life, though. Mayer's a great musician. Rush is ZZ Top for the 3-man band. I like ZZ Top better. Although I really respect Rush. I didn't get into them as much. I appreciate them more now than I did back in high school. Is marriage and love nowadays a business? I would say so. Black Flag is great. Do you like the early Black Flag before Henry Rollins with Richard Rodriguez? Was it Richard Rodriguez? Same three guys talking about a Lambo saying she was hot. What the hell? That's all they can get now, brother. Oh, Rad, another Red Pill content creator you need to check out, MGTOW Infinium. His presentation is very John Connor with a computer and walkie-talkies. Ooh, MGTOW Infinium. I did check out Quiet Herb. He's cool. Burning Spear, Peter Tosh, Barrington Levy. Stevie Ray Vaughan or Jimmy? Jim, I'm going Jimmy, bro. Jimmy all the way. Is Steve Harvey a simp? Potentially. The accordion is very, very difficult to play. The accordion was played in Flogging Molly by Matt Hensley. Is that cold test? That's my fave, Sturgill. Much love to you all. Peace be with you. All right, T-Fits, hang in there, brother. Glad you were part of the group. 365 days, kinder words, toxic toast. You don't want a church key. Music is a great outlet. And learn to play guitar, man. It's great for guys getting out of these things. Rolling Stones or the Beatles? I only like the Beatles when John Lennon sings. I'm not a big Paul McCartney. That's just me. But I do like the Stones. Beast of Burden, heck yeah. Pittsburgh, there you go. The best MGTOW song, All You Ever Do Is Bring Me Down, Mavericks, there you go. Stallone or Arnold? Stallone. Soundgarden, Super Unknown was the best. Chris Cornell, another one that left this earth too early. Howard Stern and Neil Young must be somehow related, both men of the hippie era. Now they're all about rules for me, but for thee, but not for me. What happened to them? They became Karens. A male Karen is called a Neil, because Neil Young just pulled a wacko on Joe Rogan. Jump through the hoops, still play on the jukebox regularly. There you go. Boy George or George Michael? Huge George Michael fan. I respect, even though, he was part of the Skill Gang. He played all of his own instruments. The guy was massively talented. I've had all of his stuff. That's how much I like him, because he was massively talented. Even though some of the messages in the song I'm not into, but guy could put together amazing compositions. Rad, what was the worst concert you ever been to? Interesting question. I got to think about that, brother. Mike P. Steve is a simp. George Michael. Ooh, got another George Michael fan here. Hop Ivy, yes. Operation Ivy turned into who? Rancid? Oi. Oi music. Polska Bob. I met my first wife singing karaoke. I sung Hunger Strike. Steve Harvey is the mega simp of the black community, always upholding black females when they make piss poor decisions. Yeah, I can see him doing that. I have seen a little bit of red pill discussion. There you go. Guys, it's been a great stream. You guys are all awesome. Mike P, I got to get back to you on that. Next stream, I'm going to think about it. Prince or Michael Jackson? Prince. No questions asked. Rebel against defeat, chase excellence, masculinity, men first. Chris Kuzman, what do you think, Rad? Is it possible to be red-pilled and Christian? Sure. Paul in the Bible was red-pilled and Christian. Go read Corinthians. I'm out.